Good morning. Welcome to a special premium public video forecast discussion. Normally we do this on Fridays, but considering the approach of Hurricane Helene on the Gulf Coast, I wanted to do a premium public video, not only explaining the impacts of this dangerous storm, but also discussing what type of impacts, if any, can be expected for the northern mid-Atlantic. We start off in the tropics, as we normally do in our premium videos, where we have Isaac that just formed last night. This is a tropical low pressure system in the northern Atlantic. It's going to continue to head out to the east. It's going to be a threat for Europe in about 7 days as an extratropical storm. But in the meantime, it will continue to march along the Gulf Stream and could potentially become a Category 1 hurricane before transitioning into an extratropical storm. This feature right here is still a designated tropical wave, but I would not be surprised by 11 a.m. if this is a tropical depression or storm. The good news is that this feature is going to be running into this trough and turn into the northern Atlantic. So no threat for us and the intertropical convergence zone over Africa. Looks like it's developing a couple other impressive waves here. So we could see a couple more tropical systems develop over the next 7 days. So we'll see how that plays out. But the main story is in the Gulf of Mexico. So let's zoom in here. Now, the current observations from Helene, and again, this video is as of about 9 a.m. So let's see if we refresh. And still the latest information is 100-mile-per-hour winds, pressure down to 960 millibars. The storm is moving to the north-northeast at 12 miles per hour. And that's going to increase as we move on through the day as the storm is rapidly heading towards the towards the Gulf Coast and the Panhandle of Florida. The current satellite is very impressive. Now, obviously, everyone focuses in on this area here, but let's step back and take a look at the overall structure here. Okay. And what stands out to me is that we have a very, very well established outflow. And that means that this storm circulation from the surface all the way up to the upper levels is very strong, very well organized. And so that's the first step in supporting the potential for rapid intensification. We do still have a little bit of dry air in here, and our eye wall is a bit ragged. So right now it's a Category 2 hurricane. The deep convection is starting to wrap around the low level center here, and I expect that the eye wall is going to continue to improve in structure, and I expect more growth here in the convection as we move on through the morning hours. This storm is growing and it is a large storm. Okay. So this isn't just going to impact locations wherever the eye wall ends up, but the expansion of this storm as it's lifting northward means that more locations are impacted by the hurricane force winds and the tropical storm force winds, not to mention a heavy rainfall. But the combination of the speed of this storm increasing along with the intensification rate is going to be a major problem when it comes to storm surge. Possibly the way things are setting up, non-survivable type of storm surge. In other words, if you think you can ride this out, you're in for a huge, huge, deadly surprise. Okay. And I don't like using those words lightly. This isn't to hype anything up or to scare you. You should not, if you are listening to this video right now and you are on the panhandle of Florida, especially around that Big Bend, you need to leave. Turn off the video and leave now because this is not something to mess around with. So we have the eye wall starting to organize here. All the indication here of a intensifying hurricane, and that's likely to continue on through the morning hours. The one limiting factor I would put to limiting the potential of intensification would be maybe be an eye wall replacement, which is unlikely at this time, but still a possibility, or maybe some dry air continue to hold on here in the low level center, but it doesn't look like that is going to be a theme as we move forward. So the forecast from the National Hurricane Center takes the storm again. Look where it's located. By tomorrow morning, it's in Georgia. So you can see the rapid speed of the storm lifting northward. And that is one of the saving factors here in this threat. If this was moving slower, and you had a situation where it was going to be sitting out here for a day or so, you could definitely make the case for this to reaching category 4 or 5 status. You have plenty of warm water, no shear, well developed circulation. But because it's going to be moving so fast, that reduces the window for steady intensification. So likely this will reach about 115 mile per hour winds, but because of that forward speed increasing as it's heading towards the coast here, towards the Florida Panhandle, it also means that on the east side of the storm, if you have, let's say, 115 mile per hour winds and it's slamming into the coast at 15 to 20 miles per hour, well, on the eastern side of that circulation, you can add about 15 to 20 miles per hour on top of the sustained winds because of the momentum of the storm, further enhancing that wind potential. That's also why the storm surge is such a significant threat here. You're talking 15 to 20 feet. That's not something you could survive. Okay. I want to make this very, very clear. These locations are setting up for this afternoon and evening for serious, significant, life threatening, destructive impacts. This is not something where you could just get by and not have to suffer with. So it's my hope that everyone understands how deadly and dangerous this situation is. Okay. As far as rainfall, we're looking anywhere between along the panhandle here, anywhere from 4 inches to as much as 12 inches of rain. And then you can see this signal up here towards North Carolina and South Carolina and Georgia. So what's up with this? Well, you're taking all this tropical moisture and you're driving it into the Appalachian Mountains. This is what's called orographic lifting. And so as a result, you end up with this very heavy rain band that sets up here. And that extends, again, you're talking about 4 to 6 inches of rain here for Atlanta. This is a very significant rainfall. Flooding is going to be a serious problem here with just a heavy rainfall. And then you have the size of the storm. Now, what's unique about this hurricane is not just the steady intensification, but the size of the storm. This is tropical storm force winds. You can see how expansive it is. And as this storm lifts northward and starts to interact with what we call an upper level low, which I'll talk about in just a second, it allows for that wind field to expand. So there's more areas that are going to be impacted by this storm throughout Florida, into Georgia, into Alabama, and the potential for hurricane force winds reaching all the way up into Atlanta. So you have all the combinations for a widespread, unique tropical system that's also going to be transferring into an extratropical storm. So what does that all mean? Well, the water vapor satellite picture really tells a lot of details on what's evolving here. You can see the upper level low here starting to drop into the Tennessee River Valley, and this feature up here. Now, this was one trough, and what's happening is that that trough is starting to split. So you have one strong feature here that's dropping through New England, and then you have the other strong feature dropping into the Tennessee River Valley. That is why between this upper level low and this ridge here, you're seeing this storm lift to the northeast and accelerate while doing so. Basically, all this tropical moisture is getting funneled right into the southeast and right into the Florida Panhandle. So while this is happening, the atmospheric environment, what we call divergence and diffluence, is going to help to further enhance the lifting capabilities of the storm. That's why you're seeing this happening on the northeast side so robustly, because you're seeing the best lifting dynamic showing up right in this area, and that is where this hurricane is lifting into. So it's a combination of factors here that are at play to support the intensification of this storm. While that's happening, notice we have moisture transport going all the way up into Maine, right into New England. So you might be asking yourself in the northern mid-Atlantic, well, why isn't this going to produce widespread rainfall for us? Well, let's take a look at the winds here, and this is from Earth News School. What is happening here is that while this jet stream is splitting and you're seeing this upper level low drop south and this upper level low move towards New England, we're kind of caught in between. So we have this area of weak sinking air between these two features. So you're getting strong lifting moving through New England, supporting heavy rainfall as the cold front moves through, and you're seeing the moisture transport, and this upper level low dives south, and we are caught in between these two, reducing the amount of lifting in the atmosphere for us. In the meantime, this upper level low, as it entrains Helene, sorry, uh, into the circulation, what's going to happen is that first you see the divergence in diffluence here, initially helping to enhance the storm, and then it absorbs the storm. So, yes, it moves quickly, but it also transitions quickly into an extratropical storm, enhancing the rainfall in the Tennessee River Valley and expanding the coverage of this storm, the expansion of this storm very rapidly. So we're going to see a lot of changes in this storm over the next 24 hours to intensification and then transferring over into an extratropical system at a rapid rate. On the infrared satellite picture, you can see the amount of lifting that's going on here. Notice the colder cloud tops. You can see that lifting maximizing itself with the upper level low on the northeast side, right over the Ohio River Valley. But notice we're seeing less lifting here in the northern Atlantic, and then intensification of that lifting taking place over New England. So when we take a look at our radar and surface map here from WeatherTap, you can see this separation here. Again, here's all your tropical moisture surging northward. The center of Helene is down here, lifting to the north. All your heavy rainfall already setting up over the southeast. And this is just moisture transport, tropical moisture transport. This isn't the core of the storm. So you're already seeing plenty of heavy rainfall taking place throughout the southeast just with the moisture transport alone. And then as we head northward towards our neck of the woods, there is our polar shortwave and the heavy rainfall over New England. We have more scattered showers, plenty of cloud cover, but not widespread rainfall. Scattered showers with all the tropical moisture in place, capable of heavy downpours from time to time, but it's not widespread. In many locations, because of the dry nature of the atmosphere that we've been having, are having a difficult time of seeing that rainfall reach the coast, the surface. So when we take a look at our observations, plenty of cloudy skies. Many locations are just dry. We have a few scattered showers, a little bit of a heavier downpour over southeastern Pennsylvania. We have winds coming in from the southeast, east-southeast, around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temperatures ranging from the upper 50s to lower 60s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s in your suburbs, upper 60s to lower 70s in your urban areas, lower 70s down towards southern New Jersey. Plenty of cloud cover with that moisture transport, but not many locations are seeing rainfall. And the one location here in Pottstown, PA, is the only one reporting heavy rainfall. And that's all connected back to the isolated nature of these heavy downpours. But if you get one, you can pick up a quick quarter of an inch of rain very, very easily. But notice you have all this expansive coverage in the radar, but not a lot of rainfall because of some of those dry pockets in the atmosphere over us and the subsidence. So when we take a look at the 500 millibar PVA here, you can see this setup playing out very nicely here out to this evening. There's our upper level low. There's a strong lifting with the upper level low diving towards the Canadian Maritimes. There's a ridge driving the hurricane into the Florida Panhandle between the ridge and the upper level low. All the lifting associated over the southeast, and we get very weak lifting over the northern Atlantic. This is why we're missing out on the heavy rainfall potential. If this was one solid trough here with, like, let's say a positive tilt, the core of this storm would lift through the southeast and head right up the coast. But because we get this split in the pattern here between the subtropical jet stream and the polar jet stream, the northern Atlantic misses out on much of this rainfall. As we move forward in time, notice our hurricane gets absorbed. And while that's happening, our ridge axis remains over our region. This upper level low dives towards the Canadian Maritimes, driving a frontal boundary through the region. And that sets up an environment where we get a stationary front, variable cloud cover continue on into Saturday with the threat for a few pesky showers, a few scattered showers around the region. I want to show you also the 850 millibar temperatures here, because then you can see there is our warm core low. Here is our upper level low. Here is our cold front dropping south with a maritime air mass behind it. As we move forward, look how quick the storm is absorbed into the upper level low. Okay, it loses its warm core structure. It becomes extratropical or cold core with driven more by thermodynamics and more by the thermal gradient involved in this system, with the cold air coming in, trying to drive in towards portions of Alabama and Mississippi. Unfortunately, Florida gets cut off from that cold air transport and dry air transport for the most part. So then the upper level low continues to spin about, and look at what we are setting up on Saturday morning, a nice thermal gradient over the region. And so this sets up the best potential for scattered showers on early Saturday morning before that just pretty much collapses. And you can see that here, lifting shows up pretty nicely here at 850 millibars. 700 millibars. This is 850 millibars. There is that phronogenesis I was talking about here Saturday morning, but look how quickly it collapses, right? So in terms of precipitable water value, you can see the deep tropical precipitable water values. That's impressive. That's typical what you would expect for a strong hurricane driving into the Florida Panhandle. The storm rapidly gets absorbed, so the warm core gets absorbed by this cold core structure. You can see the moisture gradient setting up over the mid-Atlantic, but as it's lifting northward, it weakens. And so there's your best potential for some heavier downpours for the region on late Friday night into Saturday morning. By Saturday afternoon, it basically falls apart. Why does it fall apart? Well, let's look at 700 millibar relative humidity. There's that initial surge lifting through the region. Look at that dry air behind it. So by Saturday afternoon, you have a lot of sinking air. A lot of low clouds, not much in the way of precipitation by Saturday afternoon. Saturday morning, a little bit better chance, especially between, say, midnight to 4 a.m. with the whole atmosphere featuring high moisture values, high relative humidity, but then the dry air comes in. So this is why we're missing out while everyone else is getting impacted with heavy rainfall one way or another, either via the cold front over New England or the remnants of Helene over the Tennessee River Valley. So over the next 18 hours for us, again, watch out for these pesky showers, capable of heavier downpours from time to time, but not everyone sees those showers. And by the time we get to this evening, a lot of that basically dissipates. Why? All your strong lifting is up here and down here, and we're caught in between. On the NAM guidance, you can see the evolution of that cold front. Again, can't rule out a few pesky showers with that cold front dropping south, but most of your rainfall is focused over the southern mid-Atlantic down through the southeast. And then here we are, Friday evening into Saturday, the potential for some of that heavier downpours in the morning, early morning hours, and then it basically collapses, and you end up with cloudy skies and a few isolated showers on Saturday afternoon. So diving through the forecast for the northern mid-Atlantic for the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area today, scattered showers, temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 70s along the immediate coast, mid to upper 70s over the interior, and upper 70s to lower 80s in the Delaware River Valley. For tonight into tomorrow morning, here comes the hurricane making the landfall. It's getting entrained by the upper level low. Here comes our cold front dropping south. That's going to lead to scattered showers with low temperatures in the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, upper 50s to lower 60s in your suburbs, lower to mid 60s in your urban areas. For tomorrow afternoon, that cold front stalls over the region. Look for variable cloud cover, widely scattered isolated showers. Most of your rainfall is focused to the south of you in the Tennessee River Valley, starting to clear out around Georgia. So those of you interested whether or not the Braves are going to get their game in on Friday, as long as the Royals can get in, then they will be able to play. We'll see what the state of Atlanta is, though. There are other factors besides just whether or not it will rain or not. By Friday night into Saturday morning, What's left of Helene is going to try to get slingshot into our region, and that's going to support some more widespread rainfall over southeastern Pennsylvania and central and southern New Jersey late Friday night and Saturday morning, with the potential for some heavier downpours. Low temperatures on Saturday will range from the mid to upper 50s over the northern interior, upper 50s to lower 60s along the coast. By Saturday afternoon, you have the showers breaking up, more scattered cloud cover. You're going to have more cloud cover than anything else here as the showers start to dissipate. Look for high temperatures ranging from the upper 60s to lower 70s. Then on Sunday, high pressure takes hold. Look for scattered cloud cover with low temperatures ranging from the upper 40s to lower 50s and high temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 70s. On Monday, high pressure holds on with scattered cloud cover expected. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 50s, high temperatures in the lower to mid 70s along the coast, mid to upper 70s everywhere else. On Tuesday, what's left of Helene and a cold front approaching from the west will move through the region with scattered showers capable of some heavier downpours here and there. Look for low temperatures ranging from the upper 50s to lower 60s, high temperatures in the upper 60s to lower 70s over the northern interior, lower to mid 70s along the coast. On Wednesday, everything clears out with high pressure taking control, maybe a few isolated showers in the morning hours. Other than that, look for scattered cloud cover and clearing skies. Look for low temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, mid to upper 50s along the coast. And on Thursday, high pressure will be in control with scattered cloud cover expected. Look for low temperatures in the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, upper 50s to lower 60s along the coast. High temperatures in the lower to mid 70s over the northern interior, mid to upper 70s along the coast. That is your premium public video forecast discussion for this week. I'll probably have another one tomorrow just to cover the remnants and seeing how everything's evolving. But in the meantime, please stay safe out there.